guys, this is Victoria Smith of Take the Lead Canine Training, and you're watching episode number 4 of Foster Dog Friday. Thanks for tuning in. Foster Dog Friday is a series where every week we discuss something regarding foster dogs, rescue dogs, dog behavior, dog training, and what we can do to help these dogs become more adoptable, what we can do to change our dog's behavior to help our dog stay in our home. Last week, on episode 3, we talked about introducing a new dog to the home, in particular introducing a shelter dog to the home. So let's say we're talking about introducing a dog who you were either fostering or maybe you recently adopted and added to your home. Today I want to elaborate a little bit on that, since it was a really great topic, got a lot of interest from a lot of people, a lot of feedback, because a lot of people don't really know what to do or how to introduce dogs. It can be really scary to bring a new dog into your home and try and integrate them with your family. So with today's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about the next step in having a dog at the house, and we're going to talk about the honeymoon period. The honeymoon period is that period of time after you've added a new dog to your home. A lot of things happen during the honeymoon period, so I want to kind of take a minute, talk about what that definition actually means. The honeymoon period is a lot like when you're in a relationship. You met for the first time, everybody hits things off, and we're having a great time being together as a couple. Then we enjoy hearing each other's stories, we spend a lot of time together, we go on dates every night, like things are great. And then after we've kind of done all that stuff and we've been together for a little while, we see like what kind of ground does the relationship really have? Do I really like this person? Did we really, do a lot of the things that would be something we'd want to do as a unit in the future? Or did we have all our fun and now things are over? That's what the honeymoon period with dogs is a lot like. Generally, for most people that adopt a dog, the honeymoon period lasts anywhere between a month to 2 to 3 months. To get an idea, dogs come into the home, they are decompressing, which we talked about in our previous video. They're decompressing and they're trying to figure out where they fit in the pack. So they're in a new place, they don't know any people or any dogs, and they're trying to kind of figure out where they fall in this new environment. So a lot of times you have a dog who doesn't always show its true colors. It doesn't always show what the relationship is really made of until after the honeymoon period. Just like relationships between humans, whether they're romantic or business, or friends or colleagues, sometimes we don't really know the true person until after the honeymoon period's over. So a lot of times we don't see the true dog until after the honeymoon period is over. And what we do during that honeymoon period really affects the type of behaviors we get out of our dog. So let's say you get that shelter dog in, they've decompressed, you're going on about a month together and you've had a really calm dog who a little timid, a little shy. We spent a lot of time with them. We've kind of spoiled them a little bit because they had a rough start, and then all of a sudden now my dog is like growling at my kid or lunging at other dogs on a walk. He wasn't doing that. We've had him for a month. Why is he doing that now? What happens is during that honeymoon period, our dog is trying to figure out like who we are, what role do we play in their life as the human in the equation, as the owner, as the pack leader, as the person that should be providing information and guiding this dog on how we're going to live as a family, what his role is and what he should do. So a lot of times, because we come in with that soft energy, particularly with foster dogs and rescue dogs and dogs from shelter and dogs who have a history or a story with them, come in with a little bit of a soft energy, and so month into it, month and a half, we sometimes start to see behavioral issues pop up. And that kind of means the honeymoon period's over and we're seeing the dog we truly have. We've also are kind of seeing the dog we kind of created. A lot of times these guys are unsure of their place in the pack. They're unsure of how they want to behave. You've got other animals. They're kind of trying to figure out the pecking order. There's just a lot of letting the dust settle, letting all the sediment settle to the bottom of the ocean again and see. Can we see clearly? What do we have in front of us? To prevent the honeymoon period from happening, not that we don't want the honeymoon period, but maybe to prevent falling victim to the honeymoon period, what we need to do is set a lot of structure for our dog. Maybe this is sounding a little familiar to you. You have had a honeymoon period with a dog, and now you're kind of dealing with, this is really what we are. This is really how strong our relationship is. This is really the dog that I have in front of me. I have a dog who's reactive, and it turns out I have a dog who's anxious, or maybe I have a dog who's got separation anxiety, or I have a dog who is growling at my kids or growling at my husband. My husband can't give me a hug anymore because the dog growls, because he growls at him off the couch and doesn't let anyone get close. All of these things are very, very important to address. This relationship is really important to address during the honeymoon period. We get a false sense of security that we've got a calm and just sweet dog, when really we might have a little bit of an insecure, anxious dog who doesn't get the leadership that he needs, doesn't get shown exactly what we want him to do, because we're not spending the right kind of relationship with our dog. So during like the honeymoon period, we should be doing things like training. We should be doing things like building relationship on our walks. We should be showing our dog what we want him to do. We should be introducing them to people, to other animals, to environments that they're going to be in a structured way. That means in a leadership role way. We want to be setting the tone for our dog and showing them how they can and can't act. We don't want to, and this happens a lot, unfortunately, bring them into the house, just give them free roam, spoil them a lot, and just show them only love and not anything else. You can love a dog by leading a dog. You can love a dog by teaching a dog. You can love a child by teaching them something. It benefits them in the future. If we only play games and cuddles and kisses and hugs and give treats and don't actually ask anything of these dogs, we allow them to sleep in our bed a little bit, it's okay. We allow them to get on the couch, it's okay. And then the honeymoon period's over, where we had a dog who wasn't sure where he fit in the pack, and now he's like, I know exactly where I fit in the pack. These people are great, but they're really soft, so I've got to kind of run the show here. I've got to stand up for us. I've got to defend us against the scary mailman. I've got to defend us against those lawnmowers outside. You know, there's dogs out there. I better bark at them and scare them away. Like, you've got a dog now who doesn't know where he falls, or he falls where we built him to fall, but he doesn't know really how you would truly like him to behave, because you probably didn't want a dog who was reactive or aggressive, but we kind of created one with letting everything, not setting boundaries and letting everything kind of go haywire during that honeymoon period. So if you've had the honeymoon period, it's over, and now you're dealing with the fallout from it, that's okay. You can still train your dog. You can still build a new relationship. But if we can miss out on some of that fallout, we can get a lot of dogs adopted, and we can save a lot of stress for ourselves and the dogs. Best way to prevent fallout from the honeymoon period is to train your dog. Build relationship through training, build relationship through teaching, build relationship through setting boundaries. Teach your dog how to walk nicely on a leash. Teach your dog how to sleep in a crate. Teach your dog not to get on the furniture. Teach this dog to go lay down in place and not have to be your shadow. Don't constantly hug and coddle these guys. Lead them, teach them. You can use food and training, you can share treats, that's fine. Do that, but train the dog. Don't just give them everything for free. Make them work for stuff. Give them some purpose, give them some drive. Motivate them to want to learn. Don't just spoil them, pamper them, coddle them, because the honeymoon period goes away. That sweet, timid dog that we have often turns into an anxious, reactive dog in the end. But I want to keep this brief. If you have any questions about the honeymoon period, if you think you guys might be in one because you've got kind of a sensitive, soft dog right now, but he shows signs of being a little bit anxious, a little bit timid, you're worried that we're going to create a reactive, aggressive, uncomfortable, anxious dog, a dog with separation anxiety. If you see this stuff starting to develop, those are red flags. Let's talk about changing your relationship a little bit so you can avoid the fallout of the honeymoon period. If you've been through the honeymoon period and you're dealing with the fallout now, there's trainers out there that can help you rebuild that relationship. Teach your dog how to understand boundaries, and help salvage what you thought you had, which was a really great, well-rounded relationship with a dog, but we've just got to give them new ways to feel about us and to feel about the other dogs in our home. If you have any questions about anything, please leave a comment, ask a question. I love doing Foster Dog Friday, getting really great feedback. I just want to see more people be able to keep their dogs in homes. I want people to know what to expect when they bring in a new dog to their house, whether they're adopting it or whether they're fostering it, because in the end, dogs don't know if they're adopted or fostered. They don't know, they're not there forever. What they do know are the people around them, the animals around them, and the relationship and the way that they feel about each of them. So whether it's a foster dog or whether it's actually our pet, we've got to give them leadership, we've got to give them information, we've got to show them how we want them to live in our world for them to be successful. And to get these guys adopted, we've got to set boundaries, we've got to train them, we've got to show them how to behave. We can't just spoil, we can't just coddle, we can't just give hugs and kisses. We've got to teach them some lessons, we've got to teach them some boundaries and how to be good dogs in our human world. So, love you guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you next week.